good morning, perhaps even good night, depending where you are in the world and you're tuned into Dominic Bayliss Truth Productions. You will now be aware that we have now merged with Lundove News, an Australian Melbourne linked news channel, where we strive to bring you, we don't strive, we just do, bring you truth news. Please stay tuned and please subscribe and share, and any comments and feedback will be very, very much appreciated. Please enjoy what we have in store for you tonight for our first premiere edition of Lundove News UK.
Good morning, Saturday, the 9th of January. We're now going to head across to Pennsylvania and to the UK to have a little chat about common law and what's happening in the United States in relation to the fraudulent election. Be interesting to see. So I hope you all enjoy it. So let's go across to Pennsylvania and the UK. Anyway, good morning here. It's the 9th of January in Melbourne, and we're talking to David in Pennsylvania, in the USA, and it's 7:05 at night. And we have Dominic down here in Worcestershire in England. And of course, Dominic has just gone past 12 o'clock and he should be asleep, but he stayed up to talk to us. And of course, Anne is always wide awake and ready to talk. Now, a lot of people, the first question I've been asked when they said I was going to talk to Pennsylvania to find out what has happened to Donald Trump. I personally, and I think Anne and others and Dominic do not believe he will ever concede, but have you got any information that we can share with them? Over to you.
Yeah, well, you got to pay close attention to the words he says. Like when he says there'll be a smooth transition of power. Normally in the past, the presidents would give the name of who they're transitioning to. Like he would have said there'll be a smooth transition of power to the Biden administration or whatever. But he's not saying that because, he's still in the middle of a bunch of things and some new intel that he's gotten and is running down, has more evidence gathered involving the Vatican and Italy and such.
Well, as we say, it could be seen in reasonable grounds. There's no way a reasonable man or a living man or a living woman could concede to such fraud and blatant fraud. And of course, the Congress, it was a circus. It was just nonsensical. There was no way in the world he was going to get back past Pelosi. She always reminds me of somebody who's been an extra in The Walking Dead. Perhaps she is dead and nobody's actually informed her. I think that'd be a reasonable thought. What do you reckon?
She's probably one of those lizard people. Once in a while they catch them on camera, the eyes shift.
Yeah, she is one very rude bitch. Very, very rude. Anyway, today's meeting we got together, and people may know or may not know that Pennsylvania is setting up, along with his friend Rob, who are both veterans and still involved in the Army and involved in law enforcement. They're going to set up the international, or become part of the International Common Law Court. And they have some friends in Washington who are willing to join up with John Smith in the UK as well. So, well, Dominic is involved in it over there. Dominic, have you got any views on what's happening and Donald Trump? Anything you'd like to add to the mix?
Only what I can see through media sources, hopefully not the truth media, not the mainstream media. I did think myself personally, it seemed very easy that they got in. That's my initial thoughts. It was very easy. And I had a big belief that perhaps Antifa might have been involved and some sort of something or other wasn't right. It was just too easy. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. So we just have to see what unveils itself, and if anyone else has got any views on it.
I'll be happy to add to that. But yeah, it was easy for them to get in. The security force was a fraction of what it normally would be for an event like that, because Antifa was planned. It was staged for them to go in there. But what they did not know was about some of Trump's people that had their own mission the white hats had their own mission to get in there under the guise of breaching the building and to gather laptops. So Antifa initiated it, making it actually easier for Trump's people to get in there. And now they got like 12 laptops, including Nancy Pelosi's.
Right.
And they're all the same type of laptop. They're all the same exact laptop. They all use the same exact laptop. They're given to them. So now Trump has those.
Wow. That is interesting.
Thank Antifa for helping to run some distraction. And they're already identified as being Antifa because in advance, the good guys already knew, the white hats already knew how they were going to be dressed with the reverse hats. Most of them would have like cut off camo shorts and, you know, like more of a dark clothing like they normally do. But one of the main things is they would have their hats backwards. All Trump's people do colored clothing, Trump hats facing forward, you know, all proud of, you know, people see as you walk into them, you can see Trump supporter. You know, all these guys had the Trump stuff reversed.
Okay, so like a bit of a code going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So, but everybody knows that, and they tried to foil that gathering. Okay, that was the main objective but it backfired because everybody knows it's Antifa.
Right, that's interesting.
So sure.
I thought there was something just not right. So, and I thought Antifa, just seeing other stuff in the past, petitionings and things where Antifa have tried to sort of monopolize on it and take over. You could see that there was that, or something wasn't right. And so you've explained it, and that makes a lot of sense, especially obtaining the information being got in there with the help of this. To obtain those laptops and things, that'd be very interesting to see what comes out from it.
Yeah, because none of the Trump people destroyed anything, and it's possible the girl that got killed may not even be killed. That I'm hearing squawk that it was a setup to be that way.
Interesting.
Which in the video, when you see her even getting shot by this black gentleman, which means gentleman, syntax means you're not a gentleman, by the way. You're not nice. He does not give any warnings to stop, get back, don't approach. You know, he just is pointing, then just all of a sudden shoots her. So that's a little weird there that no one was given any warning to get back by that person. And also people are saying that she moved her backpack up a little first to protect her head when she went down to the ground.
Okay.
So that shooting, that alleged shooting or pretend shooting, was basically to add a bit more spice to the whole story. Because when someone gets shot, it makes the story for these galars that go around spreading viruses and bullshit to people, the media. The biggest problem that we've got in the world, and I hope to God after this one, when Trump reactivates his authority and turns fraud into treason, and these people face the juries, it'll be interesting to see how these people will all be running for cover, not just in America, but here in Australia, because if America sneezes, we get a cold. And that's a word you don't need to use these days, because if you get a cold, people think you're a danger to other people. So
that's
it'll
what
be
the
interesting.
coronavirus is. The coronavirus is a cold.
I know. It's amazing.
Nobody reads anything.
Yeah, it's amazing how they use the tactics of the 1918 Spanish pandemic, where all these soldiers coming back, and of course conditions, they were very, very cold and wet in those days, and coming back spreading the influenza around the world. And of course, what people don't realize is if you get a very bad dose of influenza and you get bronchitis, you ignore it, you get pneumonia and you ignore that, you're going to end up in hospital. And nowadays, 1918, they didn't have the medicines they have now and the antibiotics, but now if you get pneumonia, and if you get it in the early stages, it's not so hard to treat. If you leave it to the latter stages, it's a little harder and it's quite dangerous. But the Democrats just picked this as a wonderful weapon, and by God, they used it to the best of their ability. But there's so many flaws in it. It's just the fluoride drinking people have really been brainwashed. And you know what? They don't here and now, and I don't know if it's the same in the USA, but here they don't need the government to tell them. They look at their mobile phone, they've got an app, and that says, you are now got to wear masks, you're in lockdown, and the fools just go and go, okay,
Right.
I'll be in there.
That's why you need one of these immunity cards from my court.
Yes, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I did put your address up for US people who needed their IDs done. We're doing a few here as well. People are getting out of that system, and
People, when they become of age, are supposed to step into the office of the Republic and surrender their corporate document bullcrap. Okay, there's an office of the Republic, and you're a Republic officer and elector, and the officials that you hire for this office to deal with foreign issues, okay, they're not supposed to be interacting or doing anything against the people that elect them. Your office as one of the people is higher than, you're higher than them because you elected them, and they're not supposed to come back at you with stuff. They are for foreign, to do foreign business. Okay, so I have a new Office of the Republic card.
interesting for the people who watch it or are interested in the common law. Actually, well, I suggest I'll put the address at the back. We should go to the common law court now. It's been updated in the UK, and all the cases that are going on residently and in December. And I registered my car with the common law court, and I got a response within about 20 minutes. It's obviously they've modernized things, so I got a response back and a copy of a sticker you put in your car that says the common law court now is part ownership of this vehicle, and words to that effect. But it's
I've done the same. Yeah, I've registered my car as well. Well, two of them, and it's a good idea. And they can give you can register it as well, and you don't have to show your registration plate. You can have their like blanked off, on their database, so no one can actually see your registration. But
yeah,
either way, it's still good.
Well, as far as registration of vehicles, I did discuss that in another video, and I don't advise people to do that at present because of the insurance aspect. If you can't get your car insured, well, then you shouldn't really be on the road, because you could personally be on the road to jail, especially if you hit somebody and cause some serious damage. And
Yep.
You've been very quiet down there.
I was going to ask David, with the flag etiquette, right? If you see, would it be safe to say if you saw Trump, when he talks or whatever with the flag, he's always got the flag, without the fringe on there, we're out of maritime law?
Yes, sometimes he does some speeches in front of the flags without fringes on it. And then sometimes, a lot of times he also has ones with the fringes on it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's sending hidden messages with that, or if it's just the way his people are setting up the stage, grabbing any old flag around, or what's going on with that. But, plenty of times he has sometimes, a lot of people notice too that there is no yellow fringe flag sometimes when he's talking. And we also notice, which one of the things that Rob noticed some time ago, is it had a special rope on it that signified the ending of a successful operation of something on the flag that didn't have a fringe on it. There's like a red, white, and blue rope on it, but that meant something.
Is there some significance as well with the eagle, with its wings, the positions it's in?
Yes. Yep. Wings up, good. Wings down, war.
Okay, are they up now, or?
It's like putting the flag
On
upside
the
down.
French flag, most likely the wings are all down on those flags.
Yeah, it's like when you put the flag upside down, it means you're at war, I believe.
Okay.
No,
I've noticed,
upside down is like a distress.
Okay, well, I've noticed with the modern day British police, they have the Union Jack on their outfits, and there's quite a lot of veterans that go out there petitioning, against the tyranny, and they've actually come across these Union Jacks the wrong way up, and they've actually confronted the constable to actually rectify it and put it the right way up. So I don't know if that was a message or anything in that.
Yeah, and the flag, if you hang it long ways going down with the star field on the right, that means it's surrendered. So when you look in the House of Representatives, you see the flag going down like that, improperly hung. The flag is surrendered to somebody.
Interesting. Mm.
Anyway, I think a lot of these flags and the police forces, especially, have all become members of the what do you call that state? That's strong state, is it? A strong state. We definitely have it here in Victoria, where they're now owned by that corporation, the U.S. corporation, where they become strong cities. What is it, Andrew?
Isn't it strong cities?
Cities
Smart cities are like where they want people basically out of the suburbs and countries. They want to put you all in like closer to town in apartments. Everyone's living together. You know, like you've got no.
So they can keep an eye on you, I guess.
Yeah, basically that. You're closer to 5G. You know, all this sort of stuff. You're not really adding this. You know, they want you more closer to the city and out of the like country. They don't really like people going to the country or purchasing. You know.
I've noticed as well that they're putting in smart traffic lights now that don't just tell you to stop and go, but actually recognize if it's a van, car, person, bicycle, and vehicle, lorry, so on. So they can actually monitor that. I mean, that's just going to get even more sort of clever, isn't it, with algorithms and AI technology. It's a bit scary. I think technology is going to be the downfall. It's already starting, I believe.
Yeah, they're duplicating China.
Yeah, I think, well, yeah, I mean, China's got a big foothold, hasn't it, now? I mean, you can't really blame them. It's because of all the corrupt politicians over the years selling themselves off. You know,
David, what would you say if to anybody out there that's actually doubting Trump at the moment, that he stepped down, he's conceded and all that business? Because I'm getting a lot of that at the moment. And what would you say to people that are really doubting Trump at the moment?
As far as, you know, people doubting Trump, don't put any doubt in him until after the passing of the 29th, because it's possible the inauguration won't happen until then. There is intel they might let Biden actually be seated on the 20th to complete the circle of his fraud and arrest him right at that time. You cannot watch mainstream media. You cannot watch Fox News. You have to pay attention to people who get some word from Trump's team, security type people from the government that, you know, have also contact with these people. Like lately, I've been keeping an eye on David Steele, ex-CIA, and he's talking to other people as well that get good inside information. A lot of people give information to Charlie Ward. Some of Charlie Ward's information is a little far-fetched, so waiting to see how some of that stuff pans out, but probably 90% of it should be accurate. You know, when he says that someone has already been executed, that's the thing. Those are the things we got to find out more of. You know, because some people are body doubles and clones, and then you have like Biden is either a body double or a clone. Most likely a body double because it's too much of a difference from the Biden from during the last presidency. Different years, different hairline, the skin's different. It's just this Biden is much more frail, and you can't remember anything. Obviously, everybody knows that already, but it's not the same Biden. There's a common picture of Biden next to his son that you can find easy online. You can compare the pictures, but that picture with the son was the original Biden.
We were all talking about a few minutes ago, and it's strong cities. So the Victoria Police are a part of the strong city. That's why they changed the uniform and got all dressed up like the military. And I think a lot of the UK badges, if you look at them, and especially the ones upside down, are definitely members of the strong city. So as being private companies, they can do this, but they have They can't go around representing the crown or perhaps in the States, the republic, when they're part of a corporation. So that is the answer to its strong cities. Now, as far as common law is concerned, I'd like to tell people that we're now in a position to go ahead. By the end of January, we'll have a few people, not too many, maybe 3 or something, ready to go. And in February, we'll be looking for some help actually in February, because we're going to be having a public meeting in Melbourne where there will be a jury picked from as many. We want as many people to turn up there so we can pick a jury from real people who live in the country, who are residents, if you like. I don't know if that's a word, of course, in grammar, but anyway, normal working people, that they can make a decision whether somebody is guilty or not with no intended ideas or no fixed ideas and something, just open-minded people who are suitable for a jury. And we're going to need a few donations from businesses as well. So, and if you want to tell people we have set up what we've done in relation to that.
Well, I'd set up a bank account probably about, I don't know, how long ago now, Barry? About 6 weeks ago, something like that, a couple of months ago now. That, you know, we're happy to give people the details. So yeah, if anybody wants to make a donation or you know, something for that, there's no pressure. But yeah, we've got that up and running.
And a lot of businesses have been really badly damaged here by this BS that's going on. And they obviously are in dire straits. But some of the bigger companies need to put a few dollars in, because we need to set up, we need printing, we need a lot of things. And we are setting up a law enforcement aspect, which is like the sheriff, some similar to the USA. There's this sheriff thing, there's people up here in other states appointing sheriffs left, right, and center, which is all rubbish. You just need one sheriff that represents the court, and he picks deputies to have, and they're not going to go around arresting people or riding around on bicycles shouting, people put your mask on. It'll basically deliver the summonses to enforce the outcome of the jury. And that's, again, is not going to, look, it's a simple process, and we just need people and companies to put a few dollars in the kitty so we can get the necessary bits and pieces in order to run this court properly under the rules of the International Common Law Court in the UK. And the court will be on a level playing field. It won't be on somebody on the stage pretending to be a judge. It'll be done according to the rules and regulations of the International Common Law Court, and no sidestepping.
All the time. I'm terrible for it. Pelosi. Have I got that? No, it's not Pelosi. Pelosi. What, have I got the right name?
Pelosi.
Okay, she was talking about Black Lives Matter. I think it was today on some sort of media stream, and how that when she was talking about Black Lives Matter, she was so sort of like, they're just protesting, you know, they're just protesting. But soon as it turns, it's Trump's turn, and right after what's happened at the Senate, it was daggers out and they're terrible, they should all be locked up and everything. And it totally changed her attitude. Just because Black Lives Matters, they're just protesting. But now it's Trump, the whole thing was just twisted around to make him look really, really bad. I'm just looking at the two differences of both are petitioning, aren't they, as such?
Yeah, everything out of Democrats and Pelosi's mouth, everything is opposite to what really happens.
Sure.
It's all completely
It's like
opposite.
life, isn't it, really? Like life.
And, you know, while they were storming the gathering was going on in Washington, that provided a distraction for Trump's team to deal with some things in 6 other cities.
At the end of the, I hate the term at the end of the day. So on the 26th of January, David, what do you think will and well, we all know it should happen. What do you reckon?
Well, it's possible that there won't be an inauguration until the 29th, but it could still better be on the 20th. We're supposed to see arrests within the next few days. But until I actually, you know, who knows if something else is going to come up that they got to go check on real quick. But they have, now that the congressional thing has been completed, who was for and who was against, the votes and stuff like that, they have a complete list of the traitors, because they all know the mountain of evidence, and they all failed to hold out for that to be looked at or whatever. And of course, Pence didn't do his job, but that might be the good thing because it brought out the traitors in the Congress. So, and now we got, you know, all the computers from in the White House, or no, from Pelosi's office, and it was like 12 laptops they have. I think it was 12. I'm trying to remember.
And they can add Joe. Oh, sorry, Ann. They can add Joe Biden's laptop to that as well, because the corruption is so deep, and poor old Trump, he's up to his elbows in crocodiles. The people who are supposed to be on his side are being compromised over the years. So it's going to be a big outcome. And Anne wants to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, and apparently they found out that the Vatican was funding it.
Yes, everything goes back to the Vatican. The Vatican gave the original orders to reduce the population by 83%.
Leonardo satellite or something. There was something.
Yeah, they were leasing that. The Vatican was leasing that satellite from the Italian government.
Yeah.
So, but we know it all on that. So,
is the satellite linked with the corruption of the voting through cyber military decoding?
That's how they did it. Yeah.
There was a money transfer done using that satellite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Because Trump's people had frozen all of the big players' bank accounts they were using to fund everything. So now the latest payoffs came via that satellite.
Okay.
So which we know about.
Yeah, I actually had a report today from someone sent me about somewhere in Italy that someone in Italy's has been going to be taken to court over cybercrime to do with the Trump voting. I haven't got the details in front of me, but
I think he's already been charged.
how has he? It's old news. I'm getting
5D chess in every country, basically.
Yeah,
so, you know, he immediately has people fly out to Italy and such, you know, as soon as they find out information. You know, as soon as, you know, the stuff happened after he was done in Washington, he immediately went to Texas to watch what was happening in Congress, watching Pence and all of them in real time.
Okay, I think I've got his name.
I reckon, Dominic, by the end of this month, there's going to be a lot of people in a lot of different countries running for cover. And I hope the media is that leading the charge away from themselves, because they're the biggest problem that poor old Trumpy had, and in fact everybody has, because they're no longer journalists, they're just absolute criminals.
I see there's going to be a lot of jobs to fill coming up.
Well, the media just spread what they're told to spread, isn't it? At the end of the day, they're just muck spreaders, like farmers, right? And you can see it straight away on YouTube. Like, this is YouTube, isn't it? It's going to be. The truth productions are coming out. People are actually speaking from the ground, from what they actually hear and know is true. That's the way it's going.
And
New television.
Sorry, John, I keep cutting you off. They're also rolling out the Nasara Jasara, starting probably with the US first, and then hopefully, you know, it'll go globally.
What's that, Anne?
The Nasara Jasara, that's the debt forgiveness. And apparently there's a lot of people in the US that have actually had their debts paid off, mortgages, whatever. And then hopefully after it's, you know, happened there, it'll start rolling out, you know, a big month, you know, sort of overnight thing. It's worldwide, and it's a technology thing as well, being rolled out.
We're going to be more believing in that as soon as Rob's mortgage goes away and the payments for his Jeeps.
Yeah, I think that.
Then we'll be like, all right, good, here we go.
Yeah, I think building a new world is their idea, is to rip us all off completely. They're not going to give anybody their mortgage. That's a lovely thought. But anyway, guys, I think we've rabbited on enough for over half an hour. And Dominic, there, it's 20 to 1 in the morning, and we perhaps will call. I'd like to thank you all for popping on and expressing our views. It's just our personal views, and with a bit of luck, the end of this month, we may be living in a new world, and the common law court will be up and running in Pennsylvania, and of course in the UK it's running for the last nearly 4 years. And Rob has just stuck his head in there. Now he's popped out.
There I
Hiya,
am.
Rob.
Good seeing y'all.
I hope you got all your paperwork done for the charges. Anyway, it's Lundove News here in Melbourne signing off, and we'll catch you all next time. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope that was informative. There wasn't a great deal of stuff going on, but it's just to keep an update in the world and to keep an update on common law court. Looking forward to you all. Keep subscribing, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.